Hey everyone, it is Danny and welcome to this update video this morning. I hope you're doing really great. And so across the North Atlantic, we have a couple of systems that we want to look at, but the focus will be on the Caribbean and surrounding areas. And so before I go into details, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so and tap the bell so that you never miss an important update. Alright, and so we're going to be looking at our other disturbances out there. We've got Invest 92L, which is given a 50% chance to develop during the next 7 days. So there are some doubts about that system actually getting itself together, but let's see how it holds out for the next couple of days while it's out there. And then, of course, that area highlighted off Africa, a tropical wave that will be moving off the coast and making its way toward the west over the next several days as we head into the new week. That wave should move off the coast. So let's see what's going to be happening with it. And of course, we've got Tropical Storm Franklin, which has helped to induce some rainfall across parts of the Caribbean, especially yesterday. And then we also have our disturbance 93L, which is likely to become our next named storm Idalia. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite imagery of the Caribbean. And here you can see all the shower and thunderstorm activity taking place right now. There we have our disturbance 93L. There we have Jamaica near the Cayman Islands as well. Lots of thunderstorms, lots of heavy rainfall in some areas this morning, especially eastern parishes for Jamaica. So you can let me know in the comments what's happening for you. I am in St. James, and in my area there are a lot of thunderstorms this morning. It's absolutely wonderful here. To the south of Hispaniola, we also see that activity, and then over in the Lesser Antilles, nothing too crazy going on, mainly some cloud cover, probably some passing showers. Much not happening for the ABC Islands either, going to Trinidad and Tobago. And so that disturbance is given a high 90% chance to develop over the next 7 days and a 60% chance over the next 48 hours. So it is pretty likely that this will become a tropical depression maybe by the next day or so. I would not be surprised to see that actually happening with the system. And then let's look at the model guidance here, the track and intensity guidance. First, we're looking at the track guidance, and there is some uncertainty in terms of where this is going to be making landfall. But one thing that we see most models expecting is that it is going to be loitering maybe for the next day or two off the Yucatan and interacting a lot with it. That could help to actually limit some intensification to some degree, after which is going to be making its way up to the northeast thereabout, and eventually somewhere in Florida is likely to experience landfall of this system here. But as we can see, it can go from anywhere to the western part of the Panhandle, going to the Big Bend area. So we really don't know at this point in time. There is nothing solid yet, but there should be a better picture of what is on the horizon as we head into the new week. And then in terms of the intensity of the system, here we're seeing where most models are not expecting this to quickly develop into something, at least for the next day or so. But then by the time we head into maybe late tomorrow, heading into Monday, it is likely to become a tropical storm and then intensify thereafter. The environment should be conducive enough to allow for that to happen. There isn't a whole lot of dry air. The water temperatures are off the charts, and the wind shear should be conducive enough. So let us see if this is going to be intensifying. And with the right conditions, there could be rapid intensification, but if it's moving very quickly, that could actually help to limit how strong it becomes, because that can result in internal shearing of the system, moving too fast for its own good. So let's see what happens with it. And then in terms of Franklin, so we're going to be looking at what is currently happening with the cyclone, and then after which we will be taking a look at the rainfall expected across the Caribbean, what the Euro model is expecting. So let us go on to Franklin, and here we can see it on satellite. It is trying to get more symmetrical, but over the past several days it has been battling some strong upper level winds, and that has resulted in most of the activity being displaced to the east of the center of the cyclone. So the western side barely has anything going on for it, but it is trying to get itself together, and the outflow from it has induced some periods of heavy rainfall across parts of the Caribbean, sections of Puerto Rico, going into the Lesser Antilles. Now we still see a lot of moisture in the area, so there could be some additional showers popping up here and there, but nothing much is really expected. Let's go on to the cone forecast, and here we can see that the cyclone has maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour, and it is winds moving to the east northeast at 6 miles per hour. And so by tomorrow, it is likely to become a hurricane. I mean, it's not far from hurricane status right now. And then by Tuesday, it could become a major hurricane, likely to peak as a category 3 before passing to the west of Bermuda. And so in terms of that potential track of it, let's look at the track guidance. Here we can see that these models are getting tightly packed. So that is indicating pretty good agreement on the track of the system. But again, this is to track the center of it. So even if it is a major hurricane we're talking about, and it is a sizable one, then impacts could be felt in Bermuda, some of those tropical storm force winds, but none of that is guaranteed right now. As we look at the model intensity guidance here, we see those different color shadings to represent the different levels of the hurricane wind scale. So we have tropical storm in green, Cat 1 hurricane in yellow, Cat 2 in orange, Cat 3 in red, Cat 4 in purple, and that lighter shade, that lilac, for Cat 5. None of these are expecting this to become a Cat 5. We see a couple of them showing that, hey, it might become a Cat 4 hurricane, and a pretty good amount saying that this is going to become a Cat 3, which I think is pretty likely. It will be in a more conducive environment to allow for all that intensification to happen. So that is the good news. It is not going to be a direct threat to land. And let's now go ahead and take a look at the rainfall map for the Caribbean. This is from the Euro model, as I said earlier, and where we see those areas of a lot of those oranges, reds, and even that burgundy and purple and pink shades, that is where we have a lot of rainfall expected. So in the vicinity of Franklin, there's likely to be a lot of rain. Thankfully, none of this is expected to be on shores. That would result in significant flooding. And there we see that trail of the higher rainfall totals, and just as we saw on satellite, there is indeed a lot of activity going on within this area right now, going from the Northwest Caribbean through Jamaica, south of Hispaniola, up into Puerto Rico. There is quite a bit of rainfall activity. And then over in the Lesser Antilles, much isn't expected today. It should be pretty sunny for the most part. Similar story as we head down to Trinidad, Tobago, the Guyanas, the ABC Islands. As we head into parts of Colombia and Venezuela, there might be some showers popping up this afternoon, mostly due to that daytime heating, and also for other sections of Central America. But as we head closer to the Yucatan, parts of Belize, Mexico, there could be some much higher rainfall totals. That flood risk is going to increase as well due to the disturbance in the area in Vest 93L. So it's going to be there for some time, loitering around, and as such, it will increase the flood threat. So you want to be mindful of that, guys, and please ensure that you do not take any unnecessary risks. And then as we look into the vicinity of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands, there you can see that much isn't likely. Maybe some passing showers at the most, but nothing too crazy is expected there. And so that is pretty much it for this update. Again, we have all our disturbances. We've got Franklin out there, and if you're in Florida, you should be keeping watch and ensuring that you have a plan in place, a hurricane plan, because it is likely that this is going to be making landfall somewhere. Even if your area is not expected to be affected right now, we still have a couple of weeks left of the hurricane season to go through, and many more storms are likely on the horizon. And I think that we are yet to see the strongest of the season. Pretty likely that that is yet to come, but I'm here to keep you guys posted so that you're never caught off guard. And so I hope that you found this video to be quite informative, but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you once I get the chance to, and as always, remember to be weatherwise.